So after my divorce, I decided that I wanted to take some time off and go do some traveling. So I started doing some research online for different places I could go, and I stumbled upon the Philippines. I looked at the beaches, I looked at the resorts, and I looked at the weather, and it was just perfect. So I decided that's where I was going to go. Well, I got there and I had an amazing time. People were friendly, the food was great, and the beaches were beautiful. But little did I know, fate had a plan for me, and I met the love of my life, the woman that I am now married to. This is our love story. We are a married couple from the United States, and we met in the Philippines. I actually got divorced about 3 years ago, and then I had a really good friend who was encouraging me to get out. Go do some traveling, get out of the house, because I was spending way too much time at home. So I decided that I wanted to do something spontaneous. I didn't want to go anywhere that I'd been before. I wanted to try to go somewhere tropical, somewhere warm, somewhere with beautiful beaches. Maybe somewhere I could meet a nice girl, maybe even meet a nice woman that I could potentially start a relationship with. And so I did some research and I came across the Philippines and I thought, well, hey, let's go check out the Philippines. I looked at the beaches. They were beautiful. I looked at the resorts. They were reasonable. Looked at the weather and it was pretty decent. And if I remember correctly, I think it was like 85 degrees when I landed there. I thought, wow, this is going to be a great trip. When I arrived, I stayed in a hotel right on the beach. It was a boutique hotel. It was beautiful. The rooms were gorgeous. It was right on the beach. I could walk right out onto the sand. If I wanted to swim, all I had to do was walk about 20 feet and I was in the ocean. So it was absolutely perfect. And right down the beach from my hotel was a restaurant and bar. And they had these 2 ladies that worked there that were absolutely stunning. They were very friendly. They were always smiling. They would come up and talk to all the guests. I found myself going there every single day. I would sit there and have a beer and just enjoy watching them work. Now, one of the girls actually approached me one day, and she asked me, why don't you come over and sit with us? And she said, you can have a drink with us, hang out, talk to us. And I thought, yeah, that sounds pretty good. So I went over and sat down and we just talked. They told me that they were from Manila. They lived about an hour and a half away from where I was staying. And they were just visiting their friend who owned the restaurant. Well, the following day, I actually went into town and I saw a massage place and I thought, you know what? I could go get a massage. And as I walked in, who do I see but one of the girls that I met at the restaurant? And she was working as a masseuse. And I thought, wow, this is crazy. It's kind of small world. We talked before and after the massage, and we decided that we wanted to hang out again. So she took me to a different restaurant that she knew, and we met up with her sister, and we had dinner together, and we became good friends. Well, fast forward a little bit, and we decided that we wanted to go to Manila and check it out. So we went to Manila, and we stayed in a hotel there. And we explored around, and we went to a mall. Oh. And we just decided to kind of walk around and check things out. Well, as we were walking through the mall, we saw a sign for a movie theater and it said Avengers Endgame was playing. And I said, hey, let's go see the movie. Well, we saw the movie and afterwards we went out to eat and we decided that we wanted to go to a rooftop bar. And it was absolutely gorgeous. It overlooked the entire city. We had a panoramic view. We could see everything. There were lights everywhere. It was just a beautiful night. We decided to have a couple more drinks and maybe we could go find some live music or something. Well, as we were walking through the mall to get to the rooftop bar, we heard some singing and some guitar playing. We thought, wow, let's go check it out. So we went in and we saw this group of 3 guys and a female singer. And they were playing all these American songs and classic rock songs and love songs, and it was just absolutely perfect. And I sat there and I enjoyed the company of my new friends, and we had a blast. Well, the next day I decided that I wanted to go back to where I was originally staying because I missed the beach. So I flew back out there, and I was only there for about 2 days when I got a message from my friend saying, hey, are you coming back to Manila? We want to show you some more places. I said, no, I'm actually leaving in 2 days. I'm flying back home. She said, oh, we're so sad. Why don't you stay another week? I'll show you around. And I thought, well, hey, why not? Stay another week. So I canceled my flight, and I decided to stay. Well, I ended up staying in Manila with my friends for a whole week. We went all over the city. We checked out different restaurants, went to more bars, went to a club one night, and it was just absolutely amazing. Well, during that week, I found myself spending more time with one of my friends than the other. and I realized that I had fallen in love with her. So I finally worked up the courage to tell her how I felt, and luckily she felt the same way about me. We started dating. We started going out on dates. We would go to the movies. We would go shopping. We'd go to restaurants, visit different bars and clubs, and just have a blast. We fell deeply in love with each other. Well, a few months later, I actually proposed to her and she accepted. Now, here's the thing. When I first arrived in the Philippines, I met 3 sisters. I ended up falling in love with the middle child. However, when I proposed to her, it was the oldest sister that I married. Now, here's the kicker. The oldest sister is a lawyer, and the middle sister is a doctor. So I got engaged to the lawyer, but I married the doctor. As we were going through the process of getting married, I wanted to make sure that everything was done properly, legally, and legitimately. So I hired a lawyer to help us out. My fiancée had her own lawyer, so we had 2 lawyers working on this. Everything was absolutely perfect. We got married in a beautiful church. It was a Catholic ceremony. Afterwards, we had a reception. We celebrated with our families and friends, and then we went on our honeymoon. We decided to go back to where we first met, and we spent a week there just relaxing on the beach, going to different restaurants, going to different bars and clubs, and just having a blast. If I had to describe the Philippines in one word, it would be beautiful. The people were absolutely gorgeous. The beaches were stunning. The water was crystal clear. The weather was perfect. What more could you ask for? A wife is absolutely amazing. She's smart. She's funny. She's beautiful. She's kind. She's caring. She's loving, and I absolutely adore her. If you're thinking about visiting the Philippines, I would say go for it. You will not be disappointed. The people are friendly. The food is great. The beaches are amazing. And it's a very inexpensive place to travel to. And honestly, I won't look back. This is the best decision I ever made. Coming to the Philippines and meeting my wife was absolutely amazing. If I had to do it all over again, I wouldn't change a thing. Thank you for watching our love story. If you have any questions about the Philippines or our experience, please feel free to leave a comment below. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. We would really appreciate it. Thank you.